kind of crazy ass.
This is Sizzle, powered by Fit to Be Trained, hosted by Karen Dougherty. Here we are live from the Deep End Broadcast Network Studios. Here's your host of Sizzle, Sizzle herself, Karen Dougherty.
Oh, I didn't expect the audience to pipe in. Nice. We've got our audience back. Here we are in the heart of the deep end of Virginia Beach. That is the deep end of Ocean Park. Steve, it's so good to be sitting in this chair across from you. How are you doing?
Doing good.
I have missed you.
I've missed you too.
And it was nice to take a break. I took a break from this and social media. I wasn't on social media for 30 days. I was on it and I would
wow, that's a good one.
But no, I didn't do any marketing. A friend of mine retired.
Right.
And I had to take over some of her jobs. And it was quite the schedule. So it was kind of a good time for us to take a break because I was kind of getting used to having, a newer schedule and more clients. And it's been a great ride, but I'm also glad to be back. I really missed this podcast, missed this time that we spend together. And I did visit you a couple times it's been 6 weeks, I think, since we.
Wow, 6 whole weeks. I feel like maybe even a little bit longer, but maybe not. Maybe 7 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know.
Maybe even closer to 8.
It could be.
Time has been flying by here the last.
It really has, because July, we did one in the beginning of June, and I think that was it. And we are in the beginning of August.
We're about 34 days away from Labor Day or so, right?
I am less than that. I am.
Labor Day's late this year. It's on.
Oh, it's on the 8th, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on the 7th.
Yeah, you're right. So 34 days. I'm going to be 60 on the 16th of this month.
August. See, I'm September 16th.
No, August.
I'm September.
I can't believe I'm gonna. Did you hear me?
Yes.
6.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I can't believe it. I'm really excited. You can do the clap thing. You can do the audience clap thing right now. I didn't know it was that easy, but I'm really excited about it. And even my kid asked me last night, he's like, "Why are you, Mom?" And I go, "Well, I had a really good life. And then I had Ian when I was 38. And so I had 38 years of being single and having a really nice life. I was single and single mom from the very beginning of time with Ian. So then I have this child. And so I got to have the experience of having a child, which wasn't really in the cards for me. And now he's 22 and he's launching and living his life. And I get to reinvent or figure out who I was or who I am now. And so it's really fun. I went to the Rod Stewart concert on Saturday night talking about remembering who I was, Rod Stewart is 81 years old, y'all. And I went to the David Lee Roth concert, I think that in the end of May. And I think that's when we had our last podcast. So yeah, it's been a while. So how have you been? You've been good and had a good summer?
Those are some good concerts.
Yes, they were good concerts.
Going through the processes of life, I would say.
Yes.
More than anything.
Yes. And, you've had some hard knocks.
Yeah, we did have to bury my dad.
I did not know if you were going to bring it up or not. I wanted to leave that up to you. Yeah,
I wasn't going to, but since you asked, it's kind of hard.
We're going to dedicate this show. Yeah, and you don't want to. People go through this, and a lot of people that are listening, that is part of life, and it's a tough one.
I said something to my audience as well. So I gave him a tribute the other day. And I do miss him.
Yeah.
And my mom, always miss her too. But just the feeling of being self-sufficient is at the end of the day, and we all should be at our older age.
Yeah.
But you always want to have your mom and dad around, right?
Yeah.
I kind of feel like.
Yeah.
At least whoever you grew up with. I know a lot of us didn't have pleasure of having one or the other.
Yeah, well said. You're right. Yeah. But you were lucky, weren't you? You had both of them, and so did I. I did too. They weren't necessarily together, but I had both of them until late into life.
Yeah, and I had a lot of brothers and sisters too, which kept things crazy growing up. So
my father just passed away this year too. So I know he passed away on April 1st, on April Fool's Day. So I'm with you. And like I said, that's personal. I didn't know if you were going to bring it up, but I'm glad you did.
Well, it's part of life that we all have to go through.
Right.
What else is there to
it's tough.
Say? I mean,
it's a tough time, and we all live through it. It just feels like you won't.
Everybody's going to have to take the footsteps of caring for someone who needs it at a certain particular time, and then you're going to be the person in need of care too by somebody. So figure it out now is the best advice I can give you.
I agree.
Don't put it off.
Well,
no matter how old you are.
And I'm so glad that you said that, because I don't mean to steer away, but guess what we're doing today? What's really stopping you from starting? And hint, it's not laziness. So, and that is the title. What is stopping you from starting? So what I did was do some research. What stops people from starting their exercise program? Like, I have a lot of friends. I have my older brother, like we were just talking about, our families are changing right now. And I'm talking to my brother a lot since my father passed away. We talk to each other almost definitely a couple times a week, if not more. That's really cool. We were saying how my dad would love that. And hopefully this will bring you and your siblings together too. But my brother always talks about health and fitness and all that, and how he wants to start working out, but he doesn't. And so I asked him, I was like, Mark, what is stopping you? Like, I've sent him my classes. His sister's a trainer. He's got it made, but he's not really taking advantage of it. And I wanted to know why, because it's not like he's stupid. He's not lazy. It's nothing like that. And he told me some of the feelings he was having. And obviously I'm going to share that with you guys. And then I also talked with a friend of mine who lives here in the neighborhood and walks her dog every day for long, even takes good walks with her sweet little doggy, which is how we became friends, but joined the rec center and is just really struggling getting there. Right. So these are just regular people in my life that I happen to really care about, both of them very, very much. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. I talk to people all day long like that. So I wanted to know what was stopping them. And I'll give you some bullet points right off the bat from my brother and my friend. It was fear of something. And I'll obviously get into more detail, but I want to do the top 10 reasons people don't start an exercise program right off the bat, just to get you guys thinking, right? Okay. Fear of failure. And that's what both my brother and my friend had said. What if I quit again? Like they're just afraid. And it's not just failure. There's other fears too. Feeling overwhelmed. So too much conflicting fitness advice. There's too much information. They don't know where to start. Waiting for the perfect time. Lack of confidence. Perfectionism. We've had a whole podcast on perfectionism. That will hold you back. Fear of judgment. Past disappointments. Low motivation. So let me elaborate on that. Waiting to feel motivated before taking action, because like we said in the beginning, it's not laziness. So the motivation thing, there's science to that, and I'll get into that. Comfort with the familiar. Time, that's a good one. I hear that all the time. Cost. Identity. I thought identity, what's that? Seeing themselves as someone who isn't athletic. So being feeling out of place. I thought that was interesting. Identity. Immediate gratification. So choosing activities that feel rewarding right now over the long term, which we know fitness doesn't happen overnight. Stress and emotional exhaustion. So feeling like they have nothing left to give at the end of the day. I think that's a good one. And then analysis paralysis. So spending too much time researching that they never actually begin. And I think that would be my brother. My brother is a wealth of information. Oh my God, he knows so much stuff right now. He sends me so many things on Instagram. I can't even look at them all. And my brother, I think, has one of those photographic memories. So a lot of this stuff he takes in, but he does do the supplement part. Like he has a whole bunch of supplements at his house. And me and you were just laughing about it before the podcast, if you don't mind me saying. You have supplements too. Like he knows the health stuff. He's taking the supplements, but he's just the exercising stuff was holding him back. And for him, it was fear of failure. Once you start, you're in. Identity was, I noticed my neighbor had said that I keep saying I'm sorry y'all, I got to get used to being back on the air, and I would like to not say ever, but I am. I know I almost did it. The identity thing of not feeling like you fit in, like feeling like you have to be a certain person. I deal with that as a personal trainer, and my little studio is here at my house in the garage even. So it's very private. It's really cool. It's low key. So people really like it because of privacy. So I get those people, the ones that don't want to go to a gym, don't want to be, especially reformer is very trendy right now. So they have all these like little boutiques with like 12 reformers in them. And my clients don't want to be in that overwhelmed. They get overwhelmed, and we have different styles, but I want to get deeper into these. I just wanted to shoot them out to y'all to kind of hook you in and go, yes, I related to 3 of those. I related to one, because it only takes one. Really, people rarely fail to start because they don't know how. They fail to start because something is standing between knowing and doing. So, and I don't think people struggle to lose weight because they don't know what to do. I think they struggle because they're afraid to begin. So there's several reasons why we don't. And the science of it, the brain is always trying to protect you. So your brain hates uncertainty. And that's all of us all the time. It doesn't like it. So even if you're unhappy, your brain often prefers the familiar discomfort over the unfamiliar possibility because the familiar feels better. So that would explain a lot of things. That would explain things with addiction, where I struggled with quitting drinking. Like, even though I wanted to quit drinking and I was unhappy about it, it took me a while because I was afraid of the unfamiliar. And your brain, literally, I repeat, your brain, you have to go against it. So that means starting a fitness program can actually register as a tiny threat, even though it's something positive. Like me quitting drinking was definitely going to be positive, but my brain saw it as a threat. It's changed, not because exercise is dangerous, because change is uncomfortable. So the motivation myth, because that came up earlier, in the bullet points, that low motivation, waiting to feel motivated before taking action. Well, that's a myth, because one of the biggest myths is I'll start when I feel motivated. The science actually suggests the opposite. Action creates motivation. So once you start doing something, that's what motivates you, not the other way around. So once people take a small step, confidence and motivation often increase because they've shown themselves they can do it. So I agree with that. So motivation is doing it, having the discipline. Like, I'm surprised the word discipline didn't come in at all, but you could say motivation isn't the engine, it's the exhaust. So maybe discipline will make you do the action, and motivation keeps it going. So self-efficiency, this is one of the biggest predictors of whether someone starts or sticks with an exercise program. It's a fancy psychology word that simply means, and I gave you the wrong word, self-efficacy. EFFICACY. Do I believe I can actually do this? People who don't believe they'll succeed often don't even start. Research has shown that confidence in one's ability to exercise is strongly linked to both beginning and maintaining an exercise routine. So if they feel like they're going to fail, that's stopping. So self-efficacy. I can honestly say I didn't even know. I'd never heard that word before. People aren't avoiding exercise, they're avoiding emotions. Think about how exercise reminds people of failing before, buying gym memberships they've never used, feeling judged, embarrassment,
Sorry.
disappointment.
The membership never being used.
They're not.
Me.
They're not. I love that you're laughing because I did feel like this was getting too serious, and I appreciate it because this is all normal stuff.
I mean, such is life.
Yeah, Thank you for laughing, because like what we were really talking about, think about what we were talking about prior, like how parent, like, but exercise does help you lead a healthy life. I just want people to know that exercise doesn't have to be as hard as it seems, but like you said, buying gym memberships that are never used, feeling judged, embarrassment, disappointment. They're not avoiding squats, they're avoiding shame. And shame, oh my gosh, shame is one of the, like, what an emotion. I remember when I was younger, I was like, God, I hate the emotion of jealousy and embarrassment. I was like, oh my God. I mean, I knew by the age of 20 that I hated that. And I would, and I'm such a non-jealous person now that I can't believe that I had it when I was young, but I definitely can relate to people because I had it. I felt it. I used to feel it like with boyfriends and stuff like that, and attention seeking things. And now, thankfully, I've conquered that. Like, I don't even hardly feel it ever. I mean, somebody could ride up in a Rolls Royce and I'm like, yeah, whatever. I mean, I don't. Yeah, but embarrassment was the other one I hated. And nobody likes to feel embarrassed, but like now I can deal, you get embarrassed and you just shake it off. But shame, oh my God, shame is the kind of emotion, and I don't even know that it's considered an emotion. It can just sink in and stick with you like glue or like glue on the bottom of your shoe. Shame is something that sneaks in the weirdest places. Like, obviously, being someone that dealt with alcoholism, like shame was a lot of what we have to deal with. And I say we is like when you're in any of the groups when you're trying to get clean or after. That's always one of the biggest subjects, the shame. Okay, so your brain loves immediate rewards. Exercise pays off later. Oh, wait, I screwed up. Because I got into the shame. They're avoiding shame. Okay, so that is powerful. So the next is identity. This one is huge. It's when people think, I have to exercise. Successful people eventually think, I'm someone who exercises. So identity changes behavior. So I like that. So rather than I have to exercise, think of yourself as someone who exercises. And it does become your identity. It definitely is mine. And I almost feel silly sometimes because I am a fitness trainer. I exercise as a hobby because people are like, oh, you're into CrossFit. Do you train CrossFit? And I'm like, heck no. CrossFit is my fun time, my hobby. I go to coaches for that. And then I like Pilates. Like, I feel like I'm so one dimensional that somebody might even think I'm boring because exercise is so much of my identity. But I did want to pick something that I enjoyed to do as a career. Because remember that old saying, if you love your job, you're not really working. And I believe that to be true. Um, so it does become your identity once you start working out. And don't you believe, Steve, that once it's there forever? Like, I always joke with people that are aging and they've been an athlete maybe when they were younger. And I always tease because the athlete will show up right away. Like, you can see it. And are always going to be a rugby player, don't you think? Like, isn't that part of your identity? An ex-rugby player, or
my bones and joints remind me every day. Yes.
I know I'm watching the show Love is Blind or something, one of those kind of reality shows, and one of the guys on there is a rugby player. Like, rugby player, what a cool identity. It's just cool. And then you got to be rugby coach. And so, don't you believe that that will be you forever? Like, for me, and obviously regular people don't have it in their careers, but even someone who exercises identifies themselves as, I'm someone who exercises. Say they ask, or they're filling out a profile of themselves. What are your likes or dislikes? People will list exercise usually if they do it.
I mean, it's always going to be a accolade and the proverbial notch on the belt.
I think that's cool that you think of it as an accolade. Oh, you mean your rugby player? Yes, for sure. Oh, goodness gracious. Yes, that's definitely an accolade. I would love to be able to say I was a rugby player. So the perfection trap, this is me. I'll start Monday. I'll start after vacation. I'll start after Christmas. I'll start when work comes down. There is no perfect Monday. There is no perfect day. The perfect day is usually Tuesday. It's written here, or Thursday, or today. So really, anytime. Today's Tuesday, so today is a perfect day to start exercising. So it's early in the day too. It's only 1:00 in the afternoon. That is when we started, isn't it? 1:42. So yes, I actually thought about going to the 4:30 class of CrossFit today, and it is a lot of cardio, which I wish it wasn't, but I don't know if I'll be back from my errands in time. But I'll use this podcast as a way to say, yes, this is a perfect day to go to the gym, because I have a 6 p.m. And the last time that I worked out before my 6 p.m. client was a good thing. I was feeling good. Your brain loves immediate rewards. So exercise pays off later. I actually think it pays off immediately, though. Don't you feel good as soon as it's done? But that isn't immediate. So you have to at least wait for the 20-minute workout, the 30-minute workout to be over. So I guess it's not immediate, but I think if people would think of it as soon as you start moving, you're going to feel better. But maybe that's not really true for everyone. So exercise pays off later, but only a little later. And so exercise pays off later, where scrolling social media pays off now. So people prefer scrolling. I hate to say this, but it was really nice being away from social media for a month. That was great. I can't say that I wasn't scrolling. I wasn't doing any posting of myself, and I wasn't doing any marketing. So when I say that I was off social media, I would still go on once in a while to check in on friends and stuff like that. But I wasn't marketing or doing posting, which is a time thing for me. And I'm required to do it for my business. It really is not the smartest thing to do. But when you and I took off of the podcast and you were like, hey, Karen, it's summertime. A lot of people do now. And I thought, well, that's really good. If we're going to take a break, let's do it now. And I did really need a break because of my workload. So I'm being off of social media really freed up time for other things, so that I'm looking forward to start marketing again, because there is a certain, I mean, it's fun being on social media. A lot of our guests I've gotten from following on social media. My social media is super fun, but it does time suck. And it could take away from a workout. Like, that I've done this before where I've been scrolling social media and looked up at the clock and went, shit, I'm too late for class. Pardon my language, people. Sorry about that. But you know what I mean? Where I've been like, oh my God, it's, at CrossFit, you can't be 10 minutes late for class. They don't like that. Cookies pay off now. So I guess what this is implying, that it's easier to maybe snack or do something with immediate satisfaction rather than exercise isn't the immediate satisfaction. But I kind of disagree. I think people should think about that. Exercise doesn't pay off later. The discipline of exercise will pay off later, in where you'll have weight loss rewards, you'll feel better. I've been doing mobility, so I've been pain free and my lifts are on point. So that was a payoff that I had to wait for, but I immediately feel better when I start working out. Your brain naturally leans towards immediate gratification. So building habits often means making the first step so easy that your brain doesn't see it as a huge effort. And I would say that's what I believe my job is, period, is to make exercise doable for whoever that person standing in front of me is hiring me for. I'd like to make it fun, and I distract them in any way I can, even if it's with the exercise, so they do get immediate gratification. So if you really are struggling, I would suggest, and this is not a plug for me, it's for all professionals. If you're really struggling with something, sometimes just calling somebody or calling a friend, a great way to get over a hump with exercise is call a buddy. And most likely that person is going to need a nudge too. That is very helpful. That's one of the attractions with me in CrossFit, is that the peers in my class are actually cheering me on, and vice versa. And you show up to see your friends, or maybe you like that coach or whatever. It can be, that's part of the, and I was going to say that's part of the immediate satisfaction too. So there's lots of things about exercise that are immediate. There is a payoff immediately. So I'm going to fight that. I'm going to make a post about that, I think. A few did you know moments. So did you know that most people know exercise is good for them? Information isn't usually the missing ingredient. It's taking the first step is. So there's this motivational speaker named Mel Robbins. Have you ever heard of her, Steve?
Yeah, I have.
And she's really cool because she's just cool, but she makes things simple. And I haven't heard a bunch of her stuff, but I've heard enough to know that I like her. I respect what she says. And she has this 1-2-3 method. Where if you're just having a hard time, you're just laying down and you just go 1-2-3, get up and go do it. Or 3-2-1. I think she counts backwards. 3-2-1. There's something about that launch. So don't make it harder than it is. But I also want to respect people, that I understand that it It can feel that hard. Did you know that procrastination is often driven by emotion, not laziness, anxiety, fear of failure, overwhelm, and self doubt can all make starting feel harder? And that's me. I am the procrastination queen. I'm getting better at it. Like I said, we did a whole podcast on it because I wanted to research it, and I've been trying to get over that because, like I said, I'm turning 60 this year, and I really want to go into this phase of my life shedding some of the habits that I've been burdened with. I love doing that when you like turn 30, 40, 50. This is what a century birthday or whatever it would be. So I remember when I turned 30, I was like, I do not want to go in as an alcoholic. I was like, I am not going to be burdened with this for the next 10 years. So I went to the bar. I went to a drag show with one of my gay friends in Minneapolis. We hit all the cool bars, danced the night away. We were 29 years old, at least I was, and we drank until we puked. I don't think I did. I do remember he did. I won't say his name, but I loved that guy. Loved him. Anyway, and then I went to rehab maybe not the next day, but I knew that I was going to be getting sober. So that was my last hurrah, and I had a great time. And then I got sober. And after I got sober, I started working in a bar. But that's a whole nother podcast. So, and I started to really make good money because when I was working in bars, when I was drinking, I didn't make as much. I was distracted and all that stuff. So, whole different podcast, but a good one. But procrastination is not laziness. I don't want people to think it. It's just putting stuff off and till it's perfectionism too. So don't let that get in your way. Did you know that every small success builds confidence? So making the next workout easier to start than the last. So so many things are practice makes perfect right now in my life. So that relates to exercise too, because I have had a lot of newer people lately, and so I want people to have grace with themselves, and I'm having to have grace with myself, and then it's also my job to keep my clients that have been around for a while amused and their muscles amused and change. But confidence is really, and simplicity is what I like to try and teach my clients right away in the beginning is don't make it harder than it is. Don't build up all this anxiety prior because you're already giving your workout an hour. You don't have to, that's why morning workouts are sometimes good so people can get them out of the way. But then the evening ones are nice too because they bring you energy. I've been working out at 6 a.m. was always my go-to for work. And then because of work, I've been so busy at 6 a.m. I knew that I had to get a different time. So I've been working out at 4:30 in the afternoon a little bit more. And I like it because I'm nice and energetic and really producing till like 8 or 9 o'clock, where it's not like that on other nights. I can maybe water the plants and all that and do mindless tasks at 8 o'clock at night. But when I work out, I can literally do work, get podcast notes together, stuff like that. My closing is I'm not asking you to change your life today. I'm asking you to prove to yourself that you're capable of beginning. Put your shoes on, walk for 10 minutes. Anybody can do it. And really, the easiest way for that is to set your timer for 5 minutes and walk out your door. And then when the timer goes off, wherever you are, turn your body around and go back home. And you'll have 10 minutes under your belt. start small. And remember, it even said that in these pages, that, and I research this stuff. And now with Chat GPT, it's like my best friend. It gets all my stuff for me. And we do all different kinds of things, but the easiest thing to do is just 3, 2, 1, start, set your timer, walk out the door, and then come back, and then you're home. And the easiest thing to do is make it easy. Stretch while the coffee brews. Success doesn't start with an hour-long workout. So stretching while you're doing something, I do use the microwave, and or like it says, the coffee machine is really what I'm doing all the time, because I'm a coffee addict. Anybody that knows me knows that. So yeah, like I do a lot of calf raises. I like the stretching better. Success doesn't start with an hour-long workout. It starts with one decision that says, I'm worth showing up for. So I also want to reiterate the action. The action is what makes motivation. Okay. So like like I said, I've had some newer clients, and just having that client come the first time and then realize that this isn't that hard. I can do this. This doesn't hurt. I can do this. Karen's not going to embarrass me. I can do this. I feel comfortable. I can do this. Most likely, anything that you're afraid of is not going to happen, most likely. So just know that and block it out of your mind and just get started. Or really, like I said, the 5-minute timer, that's kind of one of my favorites, because then I get that person to just step, and that's nothing. And you realize how it doesn't take any time to do that. It takes 5 minutes, 10 if you go out for 5. So with that, I will leave you on with your beautiful Tuesday. Thank you for giving us that grace and the break that I so needed work wise, and obviously Steve needed for personal reasons and family reasons, and same here. I mean, it's just wonderful to take some time off in the summertime, but we are so glad to be back. And I am coming back slowly, though. I will say that I haven't had a chance to talk to Steve about this, but we'll be coming back slowly and really having a full schedule in September. Well, we'll be coming back weekly, but it might be a little more sporadic. Like I'd like to see you guys next week, and then I'm traveling, and so I'm sucking up the last bit of summer. I'm turning 60. I've got friends coming in from Minnesota, family.
Where are you traveling to?
Well, I was hoping to go to Minnesota at the end of the month, but that might end. I have people coming in from Minnesota, and then I was heading out to Minnesota after that. So it was like the last 2 weeks of August, we're going to be Minnesota bound, but that might not happen because my son has some health needs, and I might not be able to leave town till September. So I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but Minnesota is coming in. So I'm really thrilled for that. I love showing off our beautiful city. I'm going to rent a pontoon boat one day and take her and the kids out. It's like a daughter from another mother and my grandkids, and her kids are like my grandkids. So it's really a fulfilling time for me. I love it. And I love this gal so much, like my own. So she's coming in. We're going to celebrate my 60th, me and the kids and my son. And it's just going to be a joy. And hopefully I fly out to Minnesota, which sounds like it's not a joy. A buddy of mine, I used to be in structural drafting before I was a full-time fitness person. And a buddy of mine from that world passed away, and his memorial is going to be in Minnesota that week. And then a few of my best friends, one got his headstone. I know it sounds so morbid, but it is, like we talked about, a part of life. And I am coming into my 60s, and I'm happy to be here because sadly some of my friends aren't. quite a few of my friends aren't. And when you start coming into this part of your life, you start to realize how precious life really is, and how many, of my friends I miss. So this trip was really going to be a tribute to them, the ones that I've lost, and not be a sad time. It sounds like a sad time, but it's not. I celebrate their lives, and I might even get a tattoo, but I might not even be going at this point. It might be postponed. I'm definitely doing this memorial run, but I really wanted to go and see my go for my friend's memorial, but I might miss it. And in Minnesota, I'm a biker chick, so we get to ride Harleys and do memorial stuff, and yeah, so I'm excited. I know, I'm sorry. I got off on a tangent there. I'm almost a little embarrassed. Didn't I say that I hated that emotion, embarrassment? But yeah, that awkward silence. Sorry. But I will check in with you guys next week regardless, and I'm looking forward to getting back on track, Steve. I appreciate you taking the time out today.
All right, Sis. Good job.
Thank you. I forgot about this song too. This is great. It was so great hearing Rod Stewart do Maggie May and some of those
What
old
was the average age of the crowd?
Me, I'm 60 and older. And then I was with an 18-year-old. My girlfriend's granddaughter wanted to go, which I was shocked, but I welcomed.
Did she know all the songs?
Some of them, yeah, because he's so iconic, But obviously not. But he put on such a show that it was so fun for even her. Even if you didn't know his music, it was awesome.
Good for him. I like Rod Stewart.
I know. Incredibly reliable artist.